Something strange is happening right now. Companies that would have once needed warehouses, hundreds of employees, and millions in funding are now being built by teams that you can count on one hand. Right now, over 117,000 one-person businesses are making more than $1 million a year, and e-commerce sales are hitting $6.8 trillion with 2.7 billion shoppers online. And these businesses, they're not being run out of skyscrapers, they're being run from living rooms, coffee shops, and laptops. And coupled with this is that the virtual assistant market is exploding, and the adoption of new tools has tripled. And suddenly, ordinary founders are pulling in extraordinary numbers, like £1 million, £10 million, more, with teams so lean that it barely seems possible. Now, I know this because I've done it myself, and I've scaled my e-commerce business past 1.5 million in revenue with just me and 2 virtual assistants. And I'm not alone. Around the world, founders are rewriting the rules of business. So the question is how? And that's why, in this video, I'm going to make it all about that. The untold playbook of how small teams are building big empires today, and how you can do it too. So why should you listen to me? Well, I've got 2 virtual assistants full-time. I've built a business that's done over £1.5 million in sales, and I can safely say that the landscape now is completely different to how it used to be. And you keep hearing in the news about these founders who have built single businesses over 1 million a year on their own or with very lean teams. And this wasn't possible. Let's look at the shift that's happened. The old model was a situation where you'd need to have warehouses, infrastructure, large teams in person in order to build big businesses. Now, there's single-person founders who are getting to $1 million a year within a few months. Take Kylie Cosmetics, for example. They got to $360 million in revenue with just 7 employees. That didn't used to be possible. These numbers are now not only possible, but probable if you've got the right situation set up. I'm going to walk you through that in this video today. And if you want more details, book in a call, the link in the description, and I can actually talk to you about your specific business needs, and we can walk you through how to implement the right systems so you can have the infrastructure to scale to these huge numbers with a lean team. So let me give you some more stats now to back up how the new world looks. So 9% of small businesses are now able to cross $1 million plus per year. There's one-person SaaS projects that are pulling 100K a month with one person from the very start. The number of $1 million solo businesses has increased since 2011. And the e-commerce market, which is what I'm in and what I recommend to get into as well, is now at $6.8 trillion. And that's gone up 9.4% year on year. And there's now 2.77 billion shoppers online. So 1 in every 3 human beings do their shopping online now. So my point there is that demand is there. There's no longer demand that we need to generate. It's there, ready to go. We just need the leverage to get the demand to come to us rather than other people. Now, let's start by grounding this in proof that I can do it, and so you can as well. My story came from a simple background in a 9-to-5 job in my small hometown in the UK, and I realized the opportunity of e-commerce. So I set up a Shopify store, started this from a bedroom, and I just started by validating the demand of certain products, and I blew up my store, even with just having 2 virtual assistants on board. I just run ads. I then have a hybrid system of AI plus virtual assistants to handle all of the infrastructure, all of the operations, so I could focus myself on scaling. And it's something that I see too many people struggle with because they're focused too much on acquisition and they forget to get the infrastructure in place. So how did I do this? Well, there's a framework that I follow, and the framework that I follow to put this into other people's businesses as well. Step 1, we need to validate demand for the products that you're selling. So you can do this with tools like Google Trends or keywords everywhere. But when you're getting into a market, before we put loads of ad spend behind it, before you spend time getting your infrastructure in place, we need to know that there's demand for the products that you're selling. So you can do that with tools, you can do it online, doesn't need to have a fancy agency to do this for you. You just need to know that there's demand. Now, I did that with Google Trends. I could see there was lots of demand for the search terms that I was going to rank for. Also, you can do things like pre-sales or pre-orders, or you can run ads to see how the response is to an email sign-up list, so you can get people on a list ready for when you launch. Lots of ways to validate demand. Also, the next step in this process is now to build an MVP. So step 2, now we've validated demand. We don't want to go too far and invest too much nowadays. We want to build an MVP, which is a minimum viable product, which is the way that we test our idea as quickly as possible. Now, this is talked about a lot in the book called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. And the whole point of it is that we want to test our theory, test our idea on the market for as low cost as possible. So in the sense of an e-commerce business, we want to set up a basic but professional Shopify store, and then we can start testing if there's actually demand for the products that we sell. Now, some people get carried away, they spend thousands, they spend weeks or even months building a store, when really you just want to build a basic store so you can test if there is a demand and if you can sell through your store. Now, nowadays we can use AI. It's changed so much. You can get AI to write the website copy. You can get AI to build your support scripts for handling customers. You can get AI to even do images for you. So it's so much quicker. And now 72% of businesses use AI in their workflows, and 92% of people who have adopted AI report a measurable return on investment when they've done that. Now, an example of a business that did this to great effect is Dropbox, and they just launched with just a demo video, just showing people what was possible. Okay, now step 3 is to get out of your own way. I think the point is, or a problem that a lot of people have, is they believe that the success of a business is down to the founder's ability. But realistically, every founder will have a ceiling to how far they can grow their business. Now, somebody who's super experienced will have a higher ceiling than somebody who's starting, and they'll have a ceiling that's lower of how high they can grow their business before it starts to plateau, because they built it to the natural ceiling of their ability. So the only way you get above that ceiling is if you get out of your way. And the quicker you can get out of your way, the faster you'll be able to scale to these large numbers. So the way you do this is you first of all become aware and conscious of how you're spending your time. You need to make sure that you, as the founder, are not spending your time in just the day-to-day operations. So start documenting how you spend your time. Start getting that into written form, like SOPs and checklists. And then that is something that you can hand off to virtual assistants or even automate it to AI once you're aware of how you spend your time. Then, once you've handed off the day-to-day running of the tasks, so like customer service, product uploads, website updates, stock checking, those things, it means your time is freed to just focus on the tasks that really grow the business. So top-level strategy and income generation tasks. Now, I use virtual assistants to do the day-to-day work of running my e-com stores, and I've input that into other clients' businesses as well. And the reason I do that is because virtual assistants are amazing at following set tasks. And it means you're not the one that has to do all of the day-to-day work. And the VA market is booming because of this, because of how profitable it is for companies. So the stats are, the VA market is going from $6.3 billion in 2024 to $8.1 billion in 2025. And in the next 8 years, so 2033, it's rumored or it's projected to be at $41 billion, the virtual assistant market, and handing off tasks to other people, because people can see how effective it is to do that. So the formula for step 3 to get yourself out of the way is systems. So that means you process-driven your business. Then automation. So you're outsourcing repetitive tasks to either VAs or AI. And then with outsourcing, you're getting these tasks executed to a high standard so you can focus on step number 4, which is scaling. So this is how we scale to those massive numbers that we see all around us. So this is how we add fuel to the fire. Because your infrastructure and your capacity can now handle scale, we're able to throw money into ad spend, look into different acquisition channels, because your business can cope with the extra stress, the extra orders, the extra inquiries, because we've got the infrastructure in place. So this is how one-person businesses plus VAs are scaling to 100K a month within a few months from starting. Did that with my client, Adam Business. Also, my client, Jared, I hired 2 virtual assistants for him, and he's now out of the day-to-day completely, and his business is doing over 50K a month. And it's the way that I've been able to scale to 1.5 million, is because I'm not the one that's relied upon day-to-day. That's why I can come to recording studios like this in Bali and not worry about my business, because I know it's handled by AI plus virtual assistants. So, to close, this is the best time in history to start an online business. We've never had so many tools at such an affordable and low barrier to entry price. AI has democratized building a big business, and it's super exciting. That's why there's now 117,000 solo businesses that are already making over $1 million a year. The e-commerce market is growing up to 6.8 trillion every year, with 1 in 3 humans shopping online. And AI adoption used to be something that you had to be super skilled at. It's now tripled over the course of a year, and that's because the tool is becoming so intuitive to use. So I can show you the proof of my business, I can show you the proof of my clients, and hopefully you can see now how the opportunity is massive and how e-commerce has changed forever. and that with the right leverage, with the right infrastructure in place, you can benefit from this same growth as well. So with that said, check out the description. If you'd like to chat with me about how we can implement the right infrastructure into your business to scale, then the first link in the description is there. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope you can see the opportunities that are out there today. So if you did, let me know, and I'll catch you in the next video.